Hola amigos, welcome to the Cooking Passport. Today we will be cooking with Igor from Spain, a truly Spanish classic, tortilla de patatas, or Spanish omelette.
Hello guys, this is Igor. We are cooking today a very traditional Spanish dish, which is a Spanish omelette or tortilla de patatas. All you need is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients, starting with olive oil, then sunflower oil just for frying the potatoes, medium-sized onion, and finally 9 medium eggs. Okay, so now I'm gonna finely chop the onion, finely slice the potatoes. Next step is to use a large frying pan, fill it with sunflower oil because we are gonna fry all the potatoes in this oil, okay? Also, before dropping the potatoes in the oil, make sure it's hot.
Okay Igor, while we wait, tell us the story behind the recipe. How do you learn to prepare it?
Okay. So very traditional Spanish dish. You can literally have it everywhere, wherever you go. Another funny thing is that they are all different. Even if you use the same ingredients, same quantities, they are always different. So when I moved to London, I started cooking, and it was one of the very first dishes that I started practicing. And I reckon I've cooked something like several hundred tortillas by now.
Wow, that's a lot. By the way, I think the oil is ready.
Make sure it's very hot. And actually, before the potatoes, remember, the onion goes first. You should fry the onion in this oil for about 3 to 4 minutes before you drop in the potatoes, so that the oil catches some of the onion's flavor.
And when is a good time or occasion to have a Spanish omelette?
I think anyone you ask in Spain this question will give the same answer. All times are good times for an omelette. Some people may have it for breakfast with their coffee, first thing in the morning, reading the newspaper. Some other people may have it for lunch as well, and others may have it for dinner. It's very good as well on the following day. So in my opinion, it's always best for dinner, and then save yourself a little bit for the following day with a sandwich and take to work.
That's a good idea.
So now it's ready for the potatoes to go in. Help yourself with a wooden spoon to make sure all potatoes get slightly covered in the oil. Don't worry if some of them are not, because later, as soon as it starts cooking, it will become easier for all of them to cook. This is how it looks for now. I reckon it needs to be cooking like this for about 10 to 15 minutes, stirring occasionally.
And what about in Bilbao? If I happen to visit your hometown Bilbao, where will be a great place to have a Spanish omelette?
Well, as I said, they are all very different, but if you ask me my favorite in my hometown, I live in Getxo, which is obviously like 15 to 20 minutes drive away from Bilbao. And there my favorite place is called Galea. And they've got not only the best omelette, but also the best coffee in town.
Have to try that next time that I'm in Bilbao.
Yeah, you should definitely. And these people make it very runny, and they sell loads of omelettes on a single day. But I'm saying maybe 50 to 60 omelettes.
Wow.
And I know they've got one person whose job is to peel potatoes for an 8-hour shift.
Wow, that's a lot of potatoes.
Yeah, and this is the best omelette in town. And they are serving omelettes from 7 a.m. in the morning up until 10 and 11 p.m. at night.
Okay, so our potatoes are almost ready. Let's scramble our eggs.
So basically, the potatoes have been cooking for about 10 to 12 minutes. And now you can see they are done because they become pretty soft. Basically, if you try and break them, it's very easy to break them. This is when you know they are soft enough and they are cooked. And remember, you need to fry them on medium to high heat, but not too high because otherwise they can obviously burn. And now that they are done, I've got my 9 eggs here, as you can see, And now that the potatoes are done, I will just move them from the oil to the egg and mix it all up. Make sure you drop as much oil as you can. And something I forgot to mention while I do this is the fact that your frying pan, should always be non-stick pan. That's very important because otherwise it can stick, potatoes can stick to the pan and it will be almost impossible to do an omelette. So I continue mixing the potatoes with the egg, and obviously the onions are there. And then as soon as you finish mixing the potatoes with the egg, you need to stir it all up, make sure it's all well mixed, and add the salt in as well. It's only 2 of us having this omelette, and obviously 9 eggs is a lot to have for dinner. But what we do is we eat half for dinner tonight, and the other half we will keep it for tomorrow because it's really good the following day. So we have for 2 occasions. So four large portions basically. As you can see, the potatoes mixed with the egg. I'm gonna stir it, mix it all up properly. Make sure all the potatoes are covered in the egg. Next step is to remove the oil. We won't need the sunflower oil anymore because that was only needed for frying the potatoes. Okay, so I'm gonna take it away from the pan, and I will add a tablespoon of olive oil just to cook the omelette, as you will see. Now what I do is I clean it with some kitchen paper briefly, this way, like this. Now that's all clean, and it's ready to make the omelette. Now we go in with the olive oil. Just a tablespoon, as I said. Something like this will do, okay? Medium-high heat again. Make sure it gets hot, and make sure the whole pan base is covered with olive oil so that it doesn't stick when you cook the omelette. So I'll go in with the omelette. Make sure nothing stays in the bowl. Help yourself with a spoon. Now what I also do is I use this one for flattening it all up so that it looks even.
Okay, Igor. While we wait for the tortilla to cook, why don't you tell us about your apron? I really like it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
La Cocina de Igor, since 2019. What is the story behind that?
Well, this was Christmas present from my family in Spain last year. Obviously, they all know I love cooking, and I had a very old apron here in London. So it was one of these personalized aprons which you can buy.
It's a great apron. I love it. I really, really like it.
Thank you.
Perfect. So let's go back and check on our omelette.
And now, as you can see, I help the borders of it with the wooden spoon, so I make sure it won't stick. And the next one of the most important steps is to flip it over for you to cook it on the other side, okay? You don't want it to burn, obviously, so you should quickly turn it over. And we've got a great tool here which we use for this. This is the tool. You can probably get this on Amazon, but this is, so you would grab this here, and this is for flipping the omelette, as you will see. You see? Nicely cooked. Now I put it back so that it cooks on the other side. Again, I will help myself with this handy tool so that it looks even. Since we like it runny on the inside, this shouldn't be cooking for too long. Otherwise it will go dry quickly, so you need to be careful. I suggest after you turn it over, I suggest no more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, let's have a look to my omelette flipping and tell us. If you could choose a country different from Spain to visit right now and have their food, which country would you choose?
I think I would say Vietnam right now.
Vietnam.
I love
Wow.
Yeah, I love all cuisines, don't get me wrong. Anything, Mediterranean, Italian, Greek. But right now, I think I would say Vietnam. Because, I love Vietnamese food, and I love Vietnam. So it's one of those places on my bucket list.
Thank you, Igor.
And this should be ready to eat, but always remember to have it resting for, 5 to 10 minutes, and that way it will taste even better. that's the Spanish omelette. I hope you enjoy it. It's not too difficult to make, as you could see. 5 ingredients, no more. Next time we will show you some other dishes from our region because we love cooking in the north of Spain, and you should go and visit us. Thanks everyone, and see you soon.
Okay, Igor, thank you so much for having us and for teaching us how to prepare that Spanish omelette, tortilla de patatas. It was amazing. Ciao, ciao.